All right, Wasted World of Sports, ahoy! Welcome to your Sunday ticket. We are here for the final stages of round 10. What a round it's been so far. We've seen some magical games, some magical moments. And speaking of magic, I did just upload a little recap for those that might have missed it from Magic Round last weekend when Jaden Sewer bombed that absolute dead set certain try. I didn't upload it to pick on him, of course. I uploaded it because it was a bit of a laugh, the poor fella. Anyways, welcome along, the USO. Only 70 series channel. Ahoy there, Jason, Orphis, and Gina. And over on TikTok, we've got Sam, we've got I Love Rugby, and we've got Jonah. Ahoy there, mates. Welcome along. A double header here on Sunday. Let's get straight into the same game multi because kickoff is moments away. Same game multi for this one. 4 legs. Xavier Coates, Ryan Pappenhausen, Grant Anderson, and Charlie Staines, because Charlie Staines down his side of the field is where the Melbourne Storm have been leaking 63% of their tries this season. If the Tigers have got an opportunity in this game, it is down Charlie Staines' edge. Thank you very much for the heart me, Daddy of TikTok. Very much appreciate that. I really, truly believe the Tigers have a chance here. I really, truly do. I've tipped the Storm, and I expect the Storm to win, but I'm looking for the Tigers to really put up a fight. They've got a quality team. They seriously have a quality team. And they'll put up a fight, but I can't. Yeah, I mean, look, a bounce of the ball here or a bounce of the ball there, a referee's decision here or there, and you just never know. If they can keep themselves in the fight, could very much go down to the wire. Monin Sabuan, ahoy mate, up the Tigers. I don't see the Storm losing at home either, no, especially because it would be back-to-back losses. The bounce-back factor is massive when it comes to the Melbourne Storm, right? It's not very often that they lose 2 in a row. And after going down last week, back at home, the absolute bollocking that they would have copped from Craig Bellamy during the week, I can't imagine them losing. My apologies. Let me make the Twitch screen a little bit bigger. We the best, 61 says Big Nelson. Big Nelson to get a try anytime. Jerome Luai ready to lead the troops. Mr. Ed's dead. Ahoy. Yes, indeed. This game on Fox Sports. And it's the next game that's on free-to-air. And there he is, Big Nelson. What a big unit. On the reserves bench in the 22. We'll see if he gets some game time. Dangerous Dan, 2022, says go the Storm. Surely Taruva first, second, third try scorer. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. If the Tigers have been doing their homework, though, they'll know that Charlie Staines' edge is where the weakness is in the Melbourne Storm defensive line. But you can never write off. You can never write off Sonny Taruva. That's for sure. Try scorers for the next game. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit more about them before kickoff in the next game. But I've gone Brinton Nickera, Sam Stone Street, Jason Saab, and Holy Moly Olakawatu. Mitchell Vela Sport, ahoy mate. And we're underway. Melbourne Storm with the kickoff. Lockie Galvin takes it. And the Storm versus Tigers underway. Yes, happy Mother's Day, by the way, to all the mothers out there and kids, sons, daughters. I hope that you have reached out and made your Mum's Day special. I haven't done it yet. I only just woke up. So I'll need to get onto that after the game. Who knows? My mum might be watching. Happy Mother's Day, Mum. I'll talk to you soon. You understand, I have work to do. As the Tigers with some expansive play early, and there is Charlie Staines attacking that edge just as predicted. Fifth and last, Luai puts the ball high. A contestable kick, pressure on Pappenhausen. Batted back by the Tigers, batted back twice, and it falls for the Storm. Celtics fan, until Knicks lose, says let's go Storm. Lots of support here for the Melbourne Storm. Oh, I should switch over to the game screen, shouldn't I? So an impressive start here for the Tigers. A good first set. They got a contestable kick up. They batted it back and almost came away with some second phase play to really put some pressure on Melbourne early. And that's what they need to do. They have to be relentless in their attack as Jerome Hughes carries it over halfway. Down the short side on the fifth and last, Pappenhausen. 40 out, puts the kick high, and it's well taken by Jareem Buller. Tigers back in possession. Moody, ahoy mate. Moody 579. Sonny Taruva, not afraid to do the hard yakka and bring the ball out of territory. That's what you want out of your wingers. By the way, people have been asking about my State of Origin picks. And I'll tell you what, I still say it's too early, but I'll do a video. Since you're all asking for it, I'll do a video with my State of Origin team. I'll record it later on tonight and make it available. Fifth and last, Tigers put the kick down, and it's Suafalongo under it. Both teams with an impressive start to this one. Both teams are up for it. We've seen some fantastic games so far this weekend. Let's see some more. Live line is minus 14.5 for the Storm. Absolutely, I think that is ridiculous. The Tigers are a much better team than 14.5. They'll put up a fight here, I'm telling you. They might not win, but 14.5 is crazy. As the Storm attack the left, here's Anderson. Anderson chopped down by Staines and Taruva. Both wingers defending over on the same side. And this kick is allowed to be taken by Coates. Beware the second kick. Garlic, keeps it alive. Katoa fires the pass out to Meany. Back inside for Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen with a little grubber in behind the line. Gets a second kick to it. It sets up in the end goal. And Pappenhausen wins the chase to the ball. Well, Ryan Pappenhausen with a try out of absolutely nowhere. Oh, we've got a tick off the multi. Brighton early in this one. And the Melbourne Storm, well, they were allowed to take the ball. And we saw that backfire on the Panthers last night, didn't we? Not competing for the high ball, standing back, letting the attacking team catch it again. And they've been destroyed here by second phase play. No challenge there on Coates. They just let him catch it. And he offloads. Loose pass out the back. And they just kept it alive from there, the Melbourne Storm. And then nothing doing. Ryan Pappenhausen, a little grubber in behind the line, found some space, got a second kick to it, and then he's just too fast. Ryan Pappenhausen with too much speed for Brent Naden. Too much speed for Adam Dewey. And that's a hell of a try if he grounds it. He has. Prick Cheese says try of the week. Mookie, ahoy mate. Try confirmed. It's 4-0 Melbourne Storm. But as we've seen this weekend, Long way to go. Anything can happen in these games. Ryan Pappenhausen gets our multi off to a dream start. Come on, we're due, right? We've had 3 out of the 4 legs now, 2 days in a row. Well, 2 out of the 3 days. No, 2 days in a row. We got 3 out of the 4 on Friday night in the the Rabbitohs Broncos game. We got 3 out of 4 in the Bulldogs Raiders game. We're due for one. We're due for a 4 out of 4. Burko, ahoy, mate. Gavin Atwood, ahoy. English guy here who lives between Thailand and Sydney. Eels fan, sadly, as Pappenhausen converts. Found the stream yesterday. Love it, mate. Thank you very much, Gavin. And welcome along to the Wasted World of Sports family. Alternative commentary. Live on YouTube, live on Twitch, live on TikTok, and live on Facebook. We're expanding the repertoire slowly but surely as well. Of course, we do the Rugby League. Super Rugby Finals will be coming up. I'll be doing that. I cover the Formula One. We started Formula One this season. That's been exciting. And that's a big charge back from Sean Blaw. Bumping off the defense. Well, it wasn't even Sean Blaw. It was Utikamanu. Either way, it was a big body and a big barging run. Sent one of the Tigers defenders flying. 6 points to 0. Ryan Pappenhausen with the try and conversion. And a nice start for the Storm. Blair 420. Ahoy, mate. You need Taruva and Coates, says Eli Katoa with a little goose step up to halfway. Down the short side, 5th and last. Hughes puts the ball high. It's a little too deep, but it is still, well, almost contestable. Nick Meaney backed out of it. And it's been taken with the Tigers and Jareem Buller. I do apologize. I'm still not with it yet. I did only just wake up about an hour ago. And if I make some mistakes in the call, I'm still warming up. You know what? I need to get up earlier. Aaron says, surely the Storm won't lose this. Well, stranger things have happened this weekend as Galvin with the short ball for Fainu. And Samuela Fainu was actually somebody I considered putting in my same game multi. For what it's worth, 5th and last, May onto Galvin. They're going to run here, the Tigers. Galvin now puts the grubber in behind the line, and it sits up for Coates under no threat at the back. And Xavier Coates with a strong return. 10 meters out. From their own line, that is. 8 minutes gone in this one. So the clock has reclaimed the lead. The Tigers shouldn't be too disheartened with that, honestly. Pappenhausen, it was a great individual effort. It was one of those freakish tries that Pappenhausen could pull off. Well, now they've got numbers down the left, and here's Coates in open space. Cuts back in field. Pappenhausen's got a double. Oh, it's the Ryan Pappenhausen show. It's 10 points to 0. And had we not seen the weekend that we've seen, I might start saying that 14.5 for the Tigers might not have been enough. But then we know what's been happening this weekend. The Storm have come to play, though. Ryan Pappenhausen with the double pump created the overlap, drew in the outside defense. And then Coates, all he needed to do was lure in the fullback. And it's the Ryan Pappenhausen. Ryan Pappenhausen 10. The Tigers 0. What a start this has been. Way too easy down that left-hand edge. For the Tigers, I think they need to Just remember what's been going on this weekend and not be disheartened. It is possible to come back. We've seen it. Pappenhausen with the conversion attempt to make it Pappy 12. Tigers 0. And he pushes it right into the upright and bouncing away. Should have been a simple conversion. Will that come back to bite? 10 points to 0 it remains. I'll tell you what, my only concern, since apparently I'm going to get lured into Origin talk anyway, I think it's too early to be talking Origin yet. Injuries and suspensions, anything could happen yet before the teams are named. So I always say it's too early to talk about it. But here's my issue with Pappenhausen, state of origin level. His size. We've seen what happens to Reece Walsh every single origin. He gets beat up. I think Pappenhausen would spend a lot of time off the ground for HIAs or off injured, much in the same fashion Reece Walsh does for Queensland. He does bring a lot of X factor, though, as we've seen. But, yeah, I would just be a little bit worried about his fragility. Is that a word? It's a word now. Fragility at state of origin level. Up to halfway now. Katoa on the 5th and last. Gets the offload. Here's Pappenhausen again. Dummies. Fends off one. Dancing around out on that right edge. Pappenhausen. Oh, he's on fire today. 5th and last. Down the short side it goes for Hughes. Hughes puts it high. And Buller takes it, but Eli Katoa nearly rips the ball away from him. Tigers in possession. They need to just control the ball for a couple of sets. Shem M, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. Very much appreciate it. Mitchell Vela Sports, not another bloody wrestling show. We have decided to prevent me from burnout because I already do so much live streaming. To prevent me from burnout, we've decided that we will do that show fortnightly. So not tomorrow, but the Monday after, we will be at it again. 5th and last, Luai puts the kick high. Taken at the back by Coates, and Coates now winds up. Pappenhausen, what can he manufacture from 30 out from his own line? Nothing, as the Tigers shut him down. Shemanem says, how good were the games yesterday? How good have the games been all weekend? Let's be honest. Maybe not necessarily in terms of skills. And speaking of skills, we've come up with a dropped ball here on halfway. Oh, Craig Bellamy's going to be furious at that. I believe it was Grant Anderson. A loose carry spills the ball. And here's an opportunity for the Tigers. So I'm thinking of the Dolphins game. The Dolphins game might not have been the greatest in terms of quality, but it was still an exciting game, wasn't it? Adam Dewey now carries into Storm territory. Seyfarth in midfield. On to Twal. Twal spins in the tackle. And here they are in midfield, 30 metres out. Coruscant, a late ball at the back, and now space for Taruva. Taruva steps back in field. And he's taken 10 metres out. Here's Coruscant on to Luai in midfield. Out the back for Galvin. And now they go further wide to the left for Dewey. Cutting back inside, but Hughes chops him down. And that's great defence from Jerome Hughes and Anderson's Carpets. Terrell May to Coruscant. with the double pump for Galvin. Numbers to the right. Taruva spills it. Oh, he's furious with himself, Taruva. He was in the corner for all money there. Opportunity for the Tigers. And at least they've shown there that they're very capable. They're capable of splitting the Storm defense apart. But they've got to take their chances. And Taruva rightfully furious with himself for that simple mistake. It was a poor pass. In total fairness, a poor pass. But he should have collected it. He really should still have collected that. Judah, Shivian, ahoy mate. Scott Ward, ahoy. And a penalty now to the Storm. A piggyback upfield. Now, what I want to know is what's caused this reshuffle in the Tigers lineup. Charlie Staines was named on the wing, but he is playing out in the centers right next to Taruva. Katakana asks who scored? Ryan Pappenhausen. Literally all Ryan Pappenhausen. He scored the 2 tries and he kicked one of the conversions. Literally all Ryan Pappenhausen. It's been amazing. It's been the Ryan Pappenhausen show. Storm now with that penalty. 40 out from the Tigers line. On play 2, Hughes wants it on the left. Short ball. And Trent Liero. Trent Liero has been given a lifeline by Craig Bellamy. And picked in the team again. Munster with the goose step. Short ball for Bloor. 20 metres out from the line. Munster shows it inside. Dummies. Now he gets the ball free. Back for Hughes. Hughes onto Pappenhausen. Chips it in over the top, and it's been taken by Taruva. But they're straight onto him. Coates has dragged him back into the end goal. And that will be a goal line dropout. $10 to 0. 17 minutes gone in this one. The home side with the lead, but hey, game of 2 halves. We've seen it a lot this weekend. Tigers go short up the middle with the restart. It bounces, but it's taken by Coates. And now inside for Pappenhausen, who scores a hat-trick. Ryan Pappenhausen with a first half hat-trick. It's Pappenhausen 14. Tigers 0. Ryan Pappenhausen. Tigers went short with the restart, and they just didn't number up in midfield. Where's the midfield defense? That's a huge gap. A monstrous hole for Pappenhausen to go through. Goro Maji says this game will be a draw. Honestly, the way things have been going this weekend, probably not a bad prediction. Or that'll be the last try that the Storm score, and the Tigers win 18-16 or something. Gina, ahoy. From right in front, Pappenhausen, he'll have no problems at all, you would think, with this conversion. Makes it 16 points to 0. And honestly, look at this. Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen everywhere. 3 tries, 2 conversions. Ryan Pappenhausen 16, Tigers 0. Yes, indeed, Sua Falongo playing out there on the wing. Well, Tigers, they need to get their heads in the game. At least when they get to half-time, Benji Marshall can say, well, look, everyone, remember what's happened all weekend so far. Don't think for 1 second this game's over. Still, 21 minutes to go in the first half. Plenty of opportunity for points still to come. Can they come up with some more? Up to halfway they go. Bronson Garlick plays it. Hughes on the fifth and last. He'll put it high. Contestable ball. And again, they stand back and let it bounce. Xavier Coates toes it through. And Jareen Buller gets back in the nick of time to dive on the loose ball. When did this start? Where teams just stand back and let the high ball bounce? It's craziness. 3 Tigers players stand and watch the high ball come down, and Coates attacks it, and they nearly come away with another try. I do not understand that tactic. It seems to be a thing that's happening, though, with greater frequency. We saw it come back to bite the Panthers last night, as I said, with the Cowboys getting a try from the exact same thing. As Buller now fends off a couple of tackles, but he's brought down in midfield. A kick by Coruscant from dummy half. It's low and grubbering along the ground. Sitting up at the back for Pappenhausen, who returns it just short of his own 30. A quarter of the way through this contest, and it's all Melbourne. Oh, no. Grant Anderson slips and loses the ball, and Alex Twal picks it up. Anderson's carpets not wearing long enough studs. Well, he's had a bit of a nightmare to start this game, hasn't he, Anderson? That's a shame, because he's in my multi. Luai down the left for Galvin. Intercepted by Faulongo. No, he's dropped it. And it's there for Dewey. Dewey pops it back in for Naden. 6 more tackles for the Tigers. I'll tell you what, Sua Faulongo, he would have been away. He'd have been hard to catch from there. Galvin onto Pole. 10 meters out, right in front. That's tackle 1. Options left and right. Coruscant goes left for Luai. At the back for Galvin. And it's been scooped up loose on the ground by Nick Meaney. And the Tigers just can't get anything together at the moment. But where have we seen this before, right? Pretty much every single game this weekend, basically. It's all Melbourne. The Tigers look bereft of ideas. This is very much like the Raiders-Bulldogs game. Sheminem asked what my favorite game yesterday was. I have to say, Raiders-Bulldogs. But favorite game in terms of excitement, I absolutely agree. Cowboys-Panthers. Munster puts this one high. It's going to fall 10 meters out. The Tigers compete for it at least this time. And now Luai's in space. Jerome Luai with Pappenhausen to beat. Cuts back on the inside. Offloads. And look at what happens when you compete for the ball. They're back inside Melbourne's half here on play 1. Out to the right edge they go. Staines. Tackled 40 out. Sione Fainu. Up the middle. 30 out now. Jim Condon, ahoy mate. Luai, short ball. And Terrell May goes through one. Fights through another. He's brought down 10 out. Terrell May. Galvin now. Grubber kick in behind the line. Snapped up by Munster. And Munster brings it back to the 10-meter line. Really poor there from the Tigers. Really poor. 17 minutes left in the first half, Henry. Oh, 14.5 points, not 14.5 margin. Oh, you're set then. You are set, my friends. Pappenhausen from dummy half. On to Liero. Now Hughes goes up the middle. Hughes still going. 40 metres out from the line now. Fifth and last. Munster puts it high for Coates' swing. Taruva competes. Coates wins the battle in the air. It's back for Anderson. Anderson has got Josh King, and Josh King reaches out as he lost it. I don't know that he grounded it cleanly. Josh King, he's claiming it, and it's going up as a try. I feel like he might have muffed this one. He doesn't seem thrilled about it, Josh King. There's no excitement from him, which leads me to believe he's dropped this ball. Anderson back to King in midfield. Jareem Bull. Oh, it looks like he has. Well, I wonder what he's unimpressed about, because it looks like he scored it, but there's no excitement from him whatsoever. That is a clean try. Come on, Josh, where's the excitement, mate? You're a bloody prop, and props don't score all that many tries. Crack a smile. He is not happy at all. Josh King with the try. 20 points to 0. Kick to come from right in front. Hey, at least this has broken up the Ryan Pappenhausen monotony. We've seen a new try scorer. At last. Josh King, try under the posts. Mookie said Max King scored yesterday, so I thought Josh King will score today. That's using the old noggin, Mookie. Can't argue with that logic whatsoever. Sounds like the kind of logic I would use, actually, to pick a multi. Oh, hang on. Has this try been confirmed yet? They might be looking at the knock-on. Try's been confirmed. There we go. It's been confirmed now. Game of Mel. Ahoy there. Got Wood with an interesting little bit of trivia. Max King has scored as many tries in the last 18 months as Caleb Ponga. How's that for a statistic that doesn't reflect too well on Kalen? Intriguing stuff, really. 22 points to 0. Wow. Oh, here comes Nelson. Big Nelson. And now the Tigers have put the kickoff out on the full. It will be a penalty on halfway for the Melbourne Storm. The last thing that the Tigers obviously needed to do. Putting the kickoff out on the full, unforgivable. What are they doing to themselves? Storm, fine touch, 35 meters out. Jason Orphis says we are having a shocker. Reese, try scorers. Ryan Pappenhausen with 3. And Josh King with the most recent one. All converted except for one by Ryan Pappenhausen. Storm now, 20 out from the line in midfield. Hughes onto Munster. Short ball for Bloor. Bloor carries inside the 10. That's tackle 4. They're on the left edge. Garlic with the crash ball for King. King pops it back for Garlic. Hands it off inside for Hughes. Jerome Hughes burrows over and scores. Oh, it's going to be an absolute massacre. Jerome Hughes with the try. Where is the Tigers' defense? 14.5 wasn't enough. Holy hell. Melbourne in Melbourne. Coming off a loss, it was always going to be difficult. But good Lord, 26 points to nil. Kick to come. Difficult. Wow. I wasn't expecting this. We know that I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting Melbourne to win, but not like this. They're enjoying their footy out there. Melbourne Storm, though, annihilating themselves back into favoritism. If they'd ever dropped out of favoritism, they hadn't with me. Back into favoritism for the premiership. I've been saying since the end of the grand final last year that it's the Melbourne Storm's premiership to lose, this one. As Pappenhausen converts Jerome Hughes' try. And it's 28 points to nil. Brick Cheese asks who's leading the points scored. What, in the entire competition? I'll see if I can find that out. Quickly and easily. Wolfie. Ahoy there, mate. It's the same team as last year, just adding a Tikamana. Exactly, Wolfie. Exactly. That was precisely my point. They've kept the bulk of their team together. Morgan, ahoy, mate. How are you, buddy? Multi-magic. Well, I'll tell you what. 2 of the games so far this weekend, I've had 3 of 4 legs hit. Sebastian Chris let me down. And Jesse Arthur's let me down. Who's going to let me down today? It certainly wasn't Ryan Pappenhausen. All right, what am I looking up here? Leading point scorers. 6 again here for the Storm on halfway. I'll have a look at that momentarily. Oh, Curtis McKenzie says it's Jermaine Osako. There you go. Jermaine Osako. As Old McDonald takes it to the 30. Hughes in midfield, at the back for Munster. Cuts him out, though. Pappenhausen. Short ball for Bloor. Throws it on the inside to Anderson, who belts the ever-living crap out of it, and it goes dead on the full. Grant Anderson's having a nightmare. 2 dropped balls, and now kicking it out over the dead ball line to give the Tigers a 7-tackle set. Craig Bellamy is furious. And it's not a good weekend to have a bad day for the Melbourne Storm because Grant Anderson, playing this badly, he would have seen exactly what happened to Trent Liero and Utikamanu, I believe it was, last weekend. He knows the bollocking that he's in for at halftime. DJ Shack says there's been some serious injury concern for several incumbent Wallabies. Noah Lolosio and Joseph Swalihi, both injured and stretch it off this weekend. As the Tigers now have an opportunity. They need some points before halftime, and Luai drops it. It was a shocking pass from dummy half. And Luai stretching out. Loses the ball cold. Oh, dear. Who threw that pass? It was Talon De Silva. That was a really poor service from dummy half. 6 again now for the Melbourne Storm. Big Nelson plays it, and here's Munster. Munster in midfield. It should not have taken 4 Tigers to bring down Cameron Munster, is all I'm saying. As Trent Liero now brings it 40 out. Matty Colkin, ahoy, mate. Munster, dummies inside for Pappenhausen. Takes the line on. And he's wrapped up. 8 minutes 40 to go until the break. Hughes. Inside ball. And Nick Meaney. 20 metres out. Garlick goes from dummy half. Beats one. He's got Munster, who sends it wide to the left now. Blower into half a gap. Has the arms free, but has nobody to pass to. Fifth and last, 5 metres out here on the left edge. Hughes, crossfield kick, dinks it in over the top. And it's been lost there. Eli Katoa. And the Tigers have been let off there with 8 minutes to go in the first half. Sil David, ahoy buddy. Tigers, 20 out from their own line. Long way to go upfield. Melbourne controlling this one. DJ Shaq says Swalihi expected to miss the remainder of the Waratahs season. And Matty Colkin says that Lolosio cleared of a nasty neck injury. Oh, that's good to hear. You don't want anything nasty to happen to anybody. A Seyfarth fends off two. A loose pass is intercepted and they're away again. Here goes Nick Meaney, untouched to score under the posts. It's 32 points to 0. Another mistake from the Tigers, fully punished by the Storm. They're on an absolute roll. For the Tigers, this first half has been a big reality check. The top 8 is going to be the lower half of the top 8 is going to be very competitive this season. But the top 4, forget about it. The top teams are just miles ahead. I nearly dropped my drink. The top teams are miles ahead. Anthony Pepe says, based on how this round is going, the Tigers win 44-32. Right? Nick Meaney with the try. Melbourne up 32-0. Kick to come from right in front. A Mosquito, thank you very much. Go Storms. Jonah says, feel sorry for the Tigers at this point, or feel bad for the Tigers. Pappenhausen from right in front. $34 points to 0. 5.5 to go until the break. Chris French, do I think the Tigers will even score? Based on what we've seen from Melbourne in previous weeks, and based on what we've seen this weekend, I think they can at least score a try or two. We know that Melbourne have a tendency to drop off in the second half, right? Old McDonald carrying it back, and he's driven backwards. 5 meters out from their own line here, the Storm, to start this set. That wasn't a good kick return. Kangaroo, Link, Dragon Link. You've seen that someone chucked 1K on the Tigers to win. Live bet. Good Lord. They should have just donated $1,000 to a charity or something at that point. Another dropped ball here for the Storm. And a furious Craig Bellamy up in the coach's box. Somebody tell him that they're up 34-0, so a dropped ball doesn't really matter. But then again, We won't be saying that if the Tigers mount a comeback, as we've seen in this weekend of comebacks. Luai feeds the scrum. Here's Galvin. Galvin with the double pump ends up taking the line on. And he will play it 30 metres out. Into midfield. It's there with Royce Hunt, the former Shark. 20 metres out from the line in midfield. Tigers left for Luai. Shows it inside. Goes out for Buller. Buller can't get on the outside of Hughes, who brings him down 10 from the line. Over on that left edge. Back into the middle. Luai to May. Terrell May only knows. Head down, bum up. Charge from the line. That's tackle 4. De Silva to Luai. Slips. And that will be the 5th and last. Well, Nick Meaney's gone flying in back play. What's happened here for Nick Meaney? Oh, we know that the poor guy, he's already had, effectively facial reconstruction surgery. And he's had a head clash here with Samuela Fainu. Nick Meaney, oh, it was his cheek as well, wasn't it? That he had reconstructive surgery done on his face. And he's now had a head clash with one of the biggest bodies in the opposition. Well, hopefully he's okay. May now to Galvin. Numbers here again for the Tigers, but a grubber kick by Buller, and it's been picked up by Bronson Garlick. Through the hands was surely the option there. And 3 minutes until the halftime break. The Tigers continue to just make nonsense decisions. Rodney asks, what is my suggestion for this game? Storm to win or the Tigers? I think the Tigers will get some points in the second half, but the Storm are surely way too far ahead now at this point. 34 is too much of a comeback. If it were like 14-0, 16-0, even 18-0 maybe. But 34-0, I think the weekend of comebacks ends with this one quite comprehensively. Taruva on play 2. 30 out from their own line. Quick play the ball. Charlie Staines up towards halfway. Naden into Storm territory on play 4. Stands in the tackle. Gets the quick play the ball away. Fainu. 5th and last. 30 metres out in midfield. 1 minute 40 until the break. De Silva finds some space around the ruck. Little grubber kick in behind the line, but who's there? Who's there? It's Ryan Pappenhausen. Perfectly positioned. Collects it on the run, and he will play it 10 metres out from his own line. What a half he has had. They've had their opportunities, the Tigers. They've certainly created chances for themselves. But a lack of execution, some poor decision-making, and some simple errors has let them down at the worst possible times. As an early shift now for the Storm. Out to the right, but nowhere to go. That's tackle 4. Katoa offloads. Keeping the ball alive. Munster will kick here on 4. Finds some space in behind the Tigers. It sits up for Buller at the back. And Buller is taken by Coates. He's taken by Bloor and he's driven backwards. 35 seconds to go. And the Tigers are pinned down in the corner. 10 metres out from their own line. Matty Colkin says Dom Young scored a try in New South Wales Cup. Geez, you would hope so, wouldn't you? As the Tigers now. Brent Naden cuts back in field. 20 metres out from their own line here, the Tigers. 10 seconds to go. This will be the last play of the half. Galvin heads across field. Links up with Buller. It's been battered down by the Storm. And that will be the halftime break. 34 points to 0 at halftime. So we're all in agreement that the Tigers win 36-34? I think so. Wow. It was the Ryan Pappenhausen show for 90% of that first half. And the Tigers have been what's going on? The players are standing out on the field. Do they know it's halftime? Lisa Munumbo. Thanks for the live stream watching from Papua New Guinea. Cheers to Papua New Guinea. How excited are we for the new team? Matty Colkin says, I wonder if Ezra Mam comes back next week for the Broncos. He has to. You would think. Ben Hunt did his hammy. I don't think you can recover from a hamstring in 1 week. So I'm pretty sure they have no choice, really, but to put Ezra Mam back in. I don't know if that's been confirmed or not yet, though. If it's a confirmed hamstring injury, like a full-blown hemi, then surely Ben Hunt can't recover for next weekend. Keanu, ahoy there. 1 month out, confirmed. There you go. Ben Hunt, 1 month out. He's going to miss Origin as well. Fire rep. As a Queenslander, but Storm fan, surely give Paps a crack for New South Wales. Here's my concern. Here's my concern for Pappenhausen at Origin. Too small a body. He'll get absolutely belted. He'll spend most of his time out for HIA or injured completely. If you want an example of that, just look at Reece Walsh's Origin history. He spends most of the games injured. So, obviously, Pappenhausen brings a lot of X factor, but I would be very concerned about Pappenhausen's size at Origin level. Halftime here. 34 points to nil. It's been the Ryan Pappenhausen show. 3 tries in the opening, what was it, 15, 20 minutes, and he'd already bagged a hat trick. Started to share it around since then with Josh King getting involved. Jerome Hughes and Nick Meaney. Oh, excuse me. Tries off of Tigers' mistakes. Addy Colkin, thank you very much for the heart me over there on TikTok. All right, so 36-34, final score. I wonder what the live odds are on that. It's the weekend of comebacks. So let's see. 36-34. Live odds. Raven says, I wonder what the record score is for Melbourne at halftime versus the Tigers. Hey, I might be able to find that out. In Melbourne or just in general? Record score in the NRL for Melbourne Storm. Leading West Tigers. Let's ask the stats man in the back. The largest halftime lead by the Melbourne Storm over the West Tigers occurred during round 15 of the 2021 NRL season. In that match, the Storm led 40 points to nil at halftime and ultimately secured a dominant 66 points to 16 victory at Sunshine Coast Stadium. Outside of that, May 11th, 2025, round 10 at AAMI Park, Storm were 28 points to nil at halftime. So there you go. Some big history there of halftime leads. Blair Kennedy says the bandana makes me look like that guy from NSYNC. Nice. It's funny, on one of my more recent TikTok videos, somebody left a comment and said, "Are you Jacob Fatu?" There's a world of difference between Jacob Fatu and NSYNC. But it is interesting. Yeah, so there you go, Raven. Some big halftime scores that the Melbourne Storm have put on against the Tigers. What did I say it was? 40 points to nil. So they came very close on this occasion, going on to win that game 66 points to 16. So there you go. There's hope for the Tigers here in the second half to get some points. Osh K says, give Paps to Queensland. Queensland are just fine. They don't need anybody else. Good Lord. They've got the Hammer. They've got Ponga. They've got Cobbo. They don't need anyone else. Blair Kennedy, you've chucked a tenner on Luai for next try scorer, paying 31-1. Hell yeah. Oh, that'll be a nice little payout. Should it get up? Mitchell Vella Sport asks who I think will be in the grand final this year. Well, I've been saying since the end of last year's grand final, pretty much since full time of the 2024 grand final last year, I've been saying this is Melbourne's premiership to lose. So it'll be the Melbourne Storm versus somebody. I'm not prepared to write off a full-strength Penrith Panthers. If Penrith sneak into the 8 and are at full strength, I would not want to be the team coming up against them in week 1 in an elimination final. That's all I'm saying. But it is Melbourne's premiership to lose. I stand by that. Absolutely nothing has changed my mind about that. Even when Melbourne have dropped the ball and lost a couple of games and looked a little bit shaky, there's been reasons for that. Jerome Hughes has been out. Harry Grant's still out. Munster's been out. Jim Condon how's the Titans player played for Queensland and has decided to represent England? Or how's the Titans player played for Queensland and has decided to represent England? Who's that? Who's gone and done that then? Only 70 series channel. I hope the Bulldogs in the grand final for a change. It would be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice. Let's be honest. The Bulldogs, here's the teams I've got a soft spot for. A soft spot for the Bulldogs and a soft spot for the Tigers. Those are two teams that I would never, ever begrudge going well. And it's good to see them recovering. I had been predicting it for a few seasons. Good to see them finally up there. All right, so halftime here, 34 points to 0. Second half coming up after this. Can the weekend of comebacks continue? Can the Tigers put some points on the board? Julian. I needed Coates first half for 9K. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. Coates had a couple of moments in open space as well. Nana says Storm to win. Most likely. Most likely. Very much most likely. WST, ahoy, mates. 60-12 to Melbourne. Ooh, let's give the Tigers 18. If it keeps going the way it's going, no question at all about the Storm 60. But let's give the Tigers 18. Julian, you had Pappy first try. 31 or more points. Nick Meaney and King anytime, and then Coates. Oh, man. No wonder that was paying 9K. That is a healthy lineup. Raven 187, you had an amazing crispy pork belly. What is that? Banh mi. I need to wait a couple more messages to see that properly. My screen's covered up. All I see is crispy pork belly. I understand the pain, Julian. I've had 2 games this weekend where I've hit 3 out of the 4 legs. All I needed in the Rabbitohs Broncos game was Jesse Arthurs. All I needed in the Bulldogs Raiders game was Sebastian Chris. Twice this weekend, 1 leg fails. Which isn't proving to be too much of a problem. Not proving too much of a problem here in this one today, because only 1 tick off the multi so far. And bloody Ryan Pappenhausen didn't share the tries around early. Alec, you need Coates to save your multi. Coates would go a very long way for mine as well. So I'm on board for that. Scott Wood, who gets the spoon? Oh, I know that they just got a win, but you'd have to say the Titans, wouldn't you? See, here's the thing with the Titans. Des Hasler will be gone before the end of the year. Now, when a team loses a coach mid-season, it goes one of 2 ways, doesn't it? But usually it goes the way of the team is in disarray and just plummets until they find somebody new, until there's some certainty around who the coach is going to be that replaces him. Whether that's Kevy Walters, I've heard whispers. Who knows? But yeah, that could really throw the Titans season into turmoil. So you'd have to say that they're odds on at the moment, wouldn't you? As the teams are out now for the second half, 34 points to 0. The Storm, the home side. A dominant display. As you can see, it was the Ryan Pappenhausen show early on. And here's the thing too. Kevy's already got an existing relationship with Gordon Tallis. Gordy, of course, is involved with the Titans board. UFC, Jamal Fogarty's not even a blue. Stop it. Horsburgh plays for Queensland as well. I'll take you up on that bet. You've said 2 Queenslanders will 100% be in the New South Wales Origin squad. Take it to the bank and cash it. I'll happily take a bet that it doesn't happen. Do you mean Queensland Origin squads? Let's say you mean Queensland Origin squads, and that was a typo. 5th and last here for the Storm. Munster puts it high. And the Tigers come away with it. They've let it bounce again, though. The Tigers, didn't they learn from the first half about competing for the high ball? Apparently not. But they've survived that one, and they come away with the ball. 30 out from their own line here, the Tigers. Obviously, they have to be the first to strike here in the second half. Obviously. Whether or not they can do it, that's a whole other conversation. They're racing through this set. Here's May, 5th and last, on halfway. Luai puts the ball high. Well, he didn't really put it high at all. It was a nothing kick, and it's gone straight down the throat of Pappenhausen. There's a nice line of Tigers kick chase to meet him, but he still gets the ball away. Coates heads across field, looking for half a gap. Coates gets the arm free, but Luai brings him down with a great legs tackle. One that needed to be made as well, because there was an unmarked man outside Coates if he could have got that ball away. Nelson flicks the pass back for Garlick. Garlick out to the left for Munster. Dances back into midfield. Munster beats one, beats another. Munster brought down by Royce Hunt from behind. God, he's slippery. Slippery little bugger. 40 metres out from the line now, the Storm. McDonald takes the line on. 5th and last. Hughes sends it out for Munster. Munster dinks it in over the top. Coates wins the battle in the air. Flick pass back for Pappenhausen, and Pappy drops it with the line wide open. Pappenhausen was on the verge of a 4th, and he's lost the ball. Wow, that's a huge let-off to start the second half here. Xavier Coates once again out-leaping Sonny Taruva. And Ryan Pappenhausen almost had himself a 4th try. Penalty now to the Tigers coming out of territory. Talon De Silva tries to tap and go quickly. Referee's having none of it. Says go back to the mark. Dewey finds touch just short of halfway. So 4 minutes gone in the second half. No change to the halftime score. Tigers with it on halfway. Welshie 27 says Sharks or Eagles. Eagles at home. Manly at 4 Pines Park. Too strong. 40 out from the line now, the Tigers. De Silva shows it inside. Out for Buller, who steps. Buller goes straight through. Needs support. He's got it there. Taruva on the right edge loses it. Oh, Sonny Taruva's got the dropsies today. That is his second drop ball. Okay, the first one was from a poor pass. This one was completely unforgivable. Buller penetrates the line. Staines passes it on right on the chest of Taruva. And down it goes. Sonny. And it is just not happening for the Tigers today. Alaska, who's everyone's anytime try scorer for the next game. I've gone Jason Saab, Holy Moly Olakawatu, Sam Stone Street, and Britton Nickera. Melbourne bringing it out from their own end now. A loose carry out the back at Spills. But he's been held there. Eli Katoa, go back and play it, says the referee. And he does just that. Now Munster out to the left, shows it inside, and he's brought down just outside the 20. Stain on the blind side. Anderson had a shocking first time. I'm actually surprised Anderson's still alive. I thought that Bellamy would have had him in a freezer out the back somewhere. Kelly, block, native, ahoy there, up the Dogs. Down the short side again, and space for Coates. Coates has got Pappenhausen on the inside. Pappenhausen gets his fourth. They just keep on rolling here in the second half. Oh, there'll be no comebacks here. No comebacks today. Pappenhausen gets his fourth, and they have just dismantled them that set down the short side. Taruva having no faith in his inside man, jamming in. And the Ryan Pappenhausen show continues. $38 points to nil, the kick to come. Javreem Buller with the Superman dive to try and knock that one down. A last-ditch attempt, but nothing doing. Over they go. The Pappy Show it is. Lines up this conversion from right in front. Slots it over, 40 points to nil. And Ryan Pappenhausen putting on a show, a clinic. Alex says that Ryan's about to be the highest point scorer in a game. And look at this over on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook. We're running out of space on the screen. Ryan Pappenhausen's name just there over and over and over again. And here he is again now, taking the hit up after the kickoff. Oh, somebody stop him. 8 minutes gone in the second half. Nelson runs straight over the top of Charlie Staines. What a run by Big Nelson. JCS Moki, final prediction, 70 points to nil. Loose pass out the back. It's been knocked down, though, by the Tigers. Knock on. And Melbourne. Another full set of 6. Dear, oh dear. Poor old Tigers. You've got to feel sorry for them. Like, they came up against the Storm here at really the worst possible time. On the back of a loss in Melbourne. That is not the time you want to be coming up against the Melbourne Storm, right? Scrum down. Here's Suafalongo up to the 40. Oh, what's the story here? That's what the Tigers get for not taking photos with fans. Up over halfway now. Nelson charges onto it and goes straight through Talon de Silva, but he's brought down 40 out from the line. Good Lord, he's a big unit. Look at the size of Nelson. My God. Penalty now. High contact. Melbourne Storm right out in front. Take the two. Take the two. Come on. Take the 2 points. It's all we're missing. Well, it's not all we're missing. Missing a drop goal as well. Take the two, boys. They'll tap and go, obviously. Seyfarth on report. Penalty Melbourne right out in front. And Liero carries it inside the 20. Slow play the ball. 6 again for what it's worth there on play 1. Old McDonald takes it inside the 10. Bumps off 1. 2 meters out just to the right of the post. Garlic sends it left. Hughes to Nelson. Nelson charges into the line. Lockie Galvin, brave effort. Holds on for dear life and drags Nelson back as well. Another set restart though. Munster, flat-footed, gives it to Hughes. Dewey jams up on Pappenhausen and shuts him down before he scores another try. Liero in front of the post. Just settles it down here. 10 meters out from the line. Hughes. Flat pass across the face of the defense. And Sean Bloor charging onto it is half a meter out. Well, he's actually over the line. His upper body. Crash ball for Big Nelson. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. That close to the line. There you go. Somebody on Twitch had Nelson anytime try. And there he is. Big Nelson barging over on the crash ball. 44 points to 0. Congratulations to that person in the Twitch chat, I believe it was, that had Nelson anytime try. And the little jig to celebrate. I can't believe there's been like 72 tries here in this game, and we've only got 1 tick off the multi. Craziness. $44 points to 0. Kick to come. Big Nelson. Welcome back, Big Nelson. Could be a simple conversion here from Pappenhausen. And, yeah, then they'll get rolling again. All right, I'm going to have a quick break. Be right back. All right. Sorry, I had to pop off there. Tigers fans, here's my suggestion for you. Double. I guarantee you right about now, up there in the coach's box, Benji Marshall, that ain't water. That right now is straight vodka. Back underway. 46 points to 0 as Pappenhausen with that simple conversion. And here's Nelson bending the line. Oh, he's unstoppable, Big Nelson. Liero. Outside the 40. It is one-way traffic. There will be no comebacks here. Munster, dummies, offloads. Wishart's on the field. Wishart carries inside the 40. That's tackle 4. They're just making meters at will here. And he's lost the ball, Wishart. Sixer says Nickera plus 200 try score. Next game, good value. Britton Nickera is always good value for a try scorer because the Sharks get him very heavily involved in the play. Nickera runs that 45-degree angle back on the inside from Nico Hines or Trindle, handing to Nickera on the crash ball back towards the posts. They score a lot of tries like that, the Sharkies. He's in my multi. He is in mine. 46 points to nil, 26 minutes to play. Surely the Storm can rack up 50. Surely. It is the Tigers with the ball, though. Luai to Fainu, angling back in. 30 out from the line on play 4. Coruscant up for Luai. Fires it across field for Galvin on the bounce. Caught 30 meters out. Fifth and last. Luai in midfield. Crossfield kick. Looking for Brent Naden. Naden doesn't even get up and compete. Suafalongo takes it. And dancing around inside his own 10 there, Anderson. Or, it might have been Nick Meaney, rather. Sorry, it was Nick Meaney. Pappenhausen. They're going to run from inside their own 10 here, the Storm. Why not? Munster steps back in field. Gets the arms free, but had no support runners. 30 out from their own line. Short side, where they've had a lot of success. And now Coates goes straight through. He's brought down by Alex Twal, just short of halfway. Munster shows it inside. Out for Hughes now to kick on play 4. Turns Naden around. Naden runs back and plucks it out of the air. Beautiful work there by Brent Naden. Henry Pappenhausen has scored 4 now. $46 points to nil. Ryan Pappenhausen with 4. And a lot of conversions. I think he's still just missed. He's just missed the 1 conversion still, I believe. 35 out from the line now. The Tigers, 5th and last. Luai puts it high. Naden chasing through again. The Storm let it bounce. It's batted back, but into the hands of Eli Katoa. I still don't understand this tactic that has crept into the game of teams allowing the ball to bounce and not competing. As Jerome Hughes slices straight through. Looks inside. He's got Pappenhausen, but he goes out for Faulongo. Faulongo brought down 10 meters out and spills the ball. Faulongo drops the ball. Well, Jerome Hughes, if he looked inside, he had Pappenhausen for 5. He goes outside to Faulongo, who is chopped down and comes up with the error. 6 line breaks to 1. Melbourne tearing them apart. A kick here on play 3. Pappenhausen cuts off the threat of the 40-20. There's nothing he can't do at the moment, Pappenhausen. Runs across field. And now he finally straightens all the way over the other end. Kay, ahoy, mate. Excuse me. Twice this weekend, we've hit 3 out of 4 legs. The Rabbitohs-Broncos game, we missed out on only Jesse Arthurs. The Bulldogs-Raiders game, we missed out only on Sebastian Chris. Obviously, we're a long way off on this one. As Hughes back inside for Munster. Munster with Eli Katoa in support. And Eli Katoa scores to bring up the 50. 50 is up. Eli Katoa. And this weekend of second rower tries continues. I think it was Gus. It might have been Gus Gould. Good old Gus, who said on his podcast, I believe, he said, in Melbourne, you can guarantee Pappenhausen, Hughes, Katoa. I should have listened to the man. We should all listen to Gus. He's nailed his three. If he was allowed to bet, he's nailed his three-leg multi. $50 points to Zippo. Kick to come. Marley Prime says, do you think the Tigers will come back? Hey, it is the weekend of comebacks. Let's not rule anything out just yet. Pappenhausen for some more points. It's a cricket score. Over it goes, 52 points to 0. It would almost be more embarrassing at this point to take a one-pointer. Imagine the Tigers get down the other end and take a drop goal just to get points on the board. I think that would almost be more embarrassing, wouldn't it? Porto 434 says Tigers to put on 3 to 5 tries in a comeback. 52 points to 0. I'll tell you what, if they did it, hey, I'll tell you something. I've come back from scores like this on Rugby League Live 4. I've seen it happen in a video game. I've done it. This, of course, is real life. And it's not likely to happen. Melbourne have dominated this game. Possession, 60%. Just pure domination. Joe Chan's on the field. He shows it inside. Wishart to Munster. Fifth and last. Puts the bomb up. Hughes chases through. Wraps up Jari and Buller. And Buller will play it 5 meters out from the Tigers' line. Charlie Staines. There's Harry Grant on the sideline. And, Will Warbrick there as well. Geez, the Storm are missing a few, aren't they? That's scary. That is terrifying. They just had a shot there of all those troops that Melbourne are missing at the moment. As Galvin now out the back for Buller. Shows it on the inside. Puts the fend on, but he's brought down there. Out wide on that right edge. Grant Anderson holds on for dear life. Fifth and last. They're going to run here, the Tigers. Galvin. On it goes now for Seyfarth. Cut out pass to Naden. Naden in a little bit of space. Chips in over the top. Munster's there. Fires the pass back in field to Pappenhausen. And Pappenhausen breaks free. Fires it across to Coates in the end goal. And Coates is out into the field of play. He's got Pappenhausen in support. Pappenhausen back to Coates. And the Melbourne Storm from their own dead ball line will play it on tackle one on halfway. Incredible play. From inside their own goal line. A foot millimeters inside the dead ball line. And they've gone all the way back to halfway. Munster now fires a huge pass across to Katoa. Katoa one-on-one with Dewey. Gets the offload to Faulongo. And Faulongo will play it 25 out on this right edge. They're just throwing the ball around it willy-nilly, the Storm. They've got nothing left to lose. At 52-0, who cares if they make mistakes? Meaney in midfield. Gets the offload. Joe Chan now steps his way around the left edge and tackle 10 out. Quick play the ball. Pappenhausen Scoops it up. Crash ball for Alec McDonald. And he is rocked back by Terrell May, fifth and last. They're all tangled up. Wishart to Hughes. Crossfield kick. Katoa looking for a double. Naden bats it dead. A result for the Storm. A goal line dropout incoming. This is incredible to watch. It really is. $52 points to nil, and the Storm are just throwing it around sevens style. They don't care anymore. They know that they've got this game won. Tigers go short with the restart. It bounces into touch, and the Tigers will get the ball back. Well, I don't know what happened there with the Melbourne Storm. Miscommunication, and they just let that one bounce into touch. Jason, ahoy, mate. And once again, Jace, Mitchell Vela Sport, was asking us about not another bloody wrestling show. Our popularity grows, my friends. But yes, I did explain to him that to prevent burnout, prevent personal burnout, that I have decided that we will do that fortnightly. So taking the week off there. But it's awesome that people are asking us about it. As the Tigers now still with 15 and a half to play. Can you believe that? Still 15 to play. Up to halfway, the Tigers. Can they get some consolation points? Well, not now, because the offload's been taken by Eli Katoa, and the Storm are back in possession. Jar Jar Crew 167 says Coates not going over should be considered a crime at this point. I agree. Ryan Pappenhausen needs to share it around is what needs to happen. He's been, what's the word? Selfish. 15 out from the line here on play 3. The Storm. More points incoming. Six again. Utikamanu bumps off Luai. Half a meter short. Wishart. Dummies to Pappenhausen. Goes to Hughes. Hughes will take the line on. Pops the pass up for the money man, Cameron Munster. And Munster gets a try. 56 points to nil. Kick to come. Still no Coates. Still no Anderson's Carpets. 56-0. Not that it matters, because I really don't think that the Tigers are going to score any points here, let alone a try for Charlie Staines. I put Charlie Staines in the multi with the understanding that he would be playing on the wing in the number 5. And Melbourne, 63% of Melbourne's tries conceded this year have been on their right edge defense. Right edge defense, where Charlie Staines should have been attacking. But Staines and Naden have switched for some reason, and Staines has been out there in the centres next to Taruva over on the right for whatever reason. So that caught me by surprise, and really it ruined any chance that I had of my multi anyway from that moment. Pappenhausen gets 2 more points to his name. 58 points to nil. Quiz Juice, ahoy mate. Quiz Juice says Tigers to win 13 plus. It is the weekend of comebacks. TH, no good getting a donut for the Tigers. UFC says Benji has high regard for Staines, so likely thinks he can shore up the D. Well, Benji's a goose. The reason that Penrith used to play Charlie Staines on the wing is because he couldn't defend. He literally couldn't defend. DJ Shack says, what's worse than 58 points conceded or the 0 points scored? Oh, definitely the 58 conceded. Definitely. Defense wins premierships. I mean, obviously you need some attack as well, but yeah, the 58 is definitely a lot worse than the 0. They've created opportunities to break that 0 at least. They haven't created opportunities defensively to prevent the 58. That's the concerning part. Naden scoops up the ball, but nowhere to move. The Storm defense sliding across. Tackle 3. 12 minutes to go. Can they get some points? Luai. Out it goes for Coruscant. And now Buller. Dummies. He's taken 10 meters out. Tackle 4. Luai now. The double pump for May. And May, as he always does, stands in contact. 5th and last. Coruscant. The crash ball for Alex Twal. Alex Twal, what? He's scored like 1 try his whole career. Maybe not the option for a crash ball on the 5th and last on the try line. Give it to someone with a higher percentage. Ten tries, and not one of them is Coates or Anderson. Crazy, right? But then again, 72 of the tries have been by Pappenhausen, so. Munster, inside ball for Pappenhausen. He's shut down this time. Up to halfway. King brought to ground on the 5th and last. 10.5 left to play. Munster puts it high. Very high. Hell of a kick. And Buller takes it. 10 out from his own line. $15 out from their own line. Here's Luai. Finds half a gap. Luai fights his way through the first tackle, but he's brought down by Nick Meaney. Naden from dummy half. Galvin onto Buller. Flick pass back inside for Staines. Spins away from 1, but he's brought down on halfway on play 4. Had him in my multi because I thought he was the starting left winger. They moved him to the right edge center. Here's Naden now. Down the outside, Naden tackled into touch. Fires the pass back in field. Falongo comes away with it, but the touchy's flag is up. Oh, but he come back for a penalty. A tackle off the ball. Penalty for the Tigers. They'll have another chance here. 9 minutes to play. Can they break the naught? The crowd not happy with that call. Finding touch, 40 out from the line. Not a big kick, really, considering. Can they get themselves on the board? Harley Griffin says up the Storm. Coruscant to Galvin. Hands it off inside here for Twal. Taken down, 25 out, just to the right of the post. Luai to Galvin. Pops it up now for Fainu. And Samuela Fainu will play at 15 out. Galvin heads across field. Offloads for Twal. Gets the pass back for Galvin. Numbers to the right, but they come back in field. Terrell May straightens. And it's a penalty for the Tigers. Take the 2. Take the 2. They tap and go. Twal 5 meters out. 8 minutes left. Luai, short pass there to Sean Blaw. Tackle 2, Coruscant heads across field. Now links up to Seyfarth, pops the pass up for Suka. 2 meters out on play 3. Coruscant to Luai, grubber kick in behind the line. It's been trapped by Wishart, and Wishart's away. Puts the fend on, but Terrell May gets him. And another poor kick from the Tigers. Melbourne ball. They're going to put 60 on here. $70 isn't out of the question even. Boazar, 1976. Storm as good as perfect. It really has been a complete performance. It really has been. Munster looks to offload. Can't get the ball free. Putting the ball high now into the corner. Taruva watches it. Buller competes. And Jareen Buller comes down with it. 15 out from their own line over on that far touch. 6.5 minutes to play. And this misery can end for the Tigers. A very lopsided scoring sheet that's actually now officially off the screen. It is officially off the screen. There's too many Pappenhausens on there, and it's pushed it off the screen. That's hilarious. Well, one of the 4 legs of the multi, which really, that's incredible considering how many tries got scored. 5th and last, the Tigers put this high down the middle. Pappenhausen takes it, fires it across to the left for Anderson. Anderson. 40 out from the line, from their own line, that is. Coates carries up to halfway. Pappenhausen at dummy half. He's got King in the midfield. Tackle 3. 40 meters out from the line. Munster goes straight up the middle. Munster. Garlick in support in midfield. Bronson, bloody Garlick, is going to get a try, but no Coates. Are you kidding me? Bronson Garlick's going to score a try, but no Xavier Coates. 62 points to 0. Kick to come from right in front. Holy bloody hell. Quick break. I'll be right back. Unbelievable. Bronson Garlick scores. But what's more incredible, 462 tries scored today by the Melbourne Storm, 600 of them by Ryan Pappenhausen, and only 1 tick off the multi. Are you kidding me? A little bit of Steiner math there. As Pappenhausen converts, 64 points to 0. Kara, ahoy there. Wave, thumbs up. Ahoy there, Kara. Manly versus the Sharks coming up next. And the weekend of close games, the weekend of comebacks. It's all over with this one, 64 points to 0. Here I was laughing at the bookmakers for a 14.5 points head start. Turns out the 14.5 was way too generous as Eli Katoa comes down with the kickoff. 3.5 minutes to play. The Tigers and Tigers fans, you need some of this, honestly. Get into some of that double strength. Double strength as Utikamanu offloads here for Joe Chan. Chan is wrapped up 20 meters out. They're going to get more points. Down the short side, Pappenhausen to Anderson. Anderson back inside for Pappenhausen. Tell me he has not got 5. Pappenhausen has not got 5. They're going to have a look. It's gone up as no try. I think it's been knocked on. Pappenhausen is short of the line there and loses it. This will be no try. 64-0 it will remain. He's having a laugh about it. He knows he was almost there for 5. 5-time try scorer. No, just short. And knocking the ball on. Geez, we've managed a hell of a lot of wrestling references today. See what you do, Jason? Tigers scrum down here, 10 meters out from their own line. 64 points to 0. Crazy scenes here. Can the Tigers get a consolation? Here's Brent Naden. Brings it outside the 20. 2.5 left to play. Harley Griffin, the Sharks are my team. But I had tipped the Melbourne Storm in this one. I had tipped the Melbourne Storm, but I really did think the Tigers would put up more of a fight. But yes, the Sharks are my team. And they've got a big, big game against Manly coming up next. And we'll be covering that live. Through the hands now. The Tigers up to halfway. Galvin fires it across to Luai. Luai shows it inside. Goes outside. It's tapped onto Naden. Cuts back in field. Palongo slides across and shuts him down. And then Dewey's wrapped up 40 meters out from the try line. 5th and last. Luai will go on a run. The ball is batted down by the Storm. That'll be 6 more tackles. No, says the referee. Still 5th and last. And Wishart picks it up, the loose ball on the deck. Well, the referee, I don't know how he missed that. One minute 10 to go. I've got Manly to beat the Sharks at 4 Pines Park, Brookie. 4 Pines, Brookvale. Manly are very hard to beat at home. I've got Britton Nickera, Sam Stonestreet, Jason Saab, and holy moly, Olakau'atu as your anytime try scorers. I can also throw out there as a very good option, Kale Ero. Kale Ero for the Sharks has been a try-scoring machine. And also, a little smoky, the Sharks defensively, a little bit questionable out wide. So Ruben Garrick is also another option that I contemplated. So there's quite a few options for you. Nickera, Saab, Olakau'atu, Stonestreet, Ero, Garrick. Surely some of them hit for you. Take your pick. 10 seconds to go here. The Tigers looking to get some points on the board. Galvin fends off one, heads back in front of the post, self-loads for Luai, pops it over the top here for Fainu, onto Dewey. Dewey, it's called a forward pass, and that's the game. They're going to end up with 0. 64 points to 0. 64 points to 0. Unreal. That is the shellacking of all shellackings. An absolute monstering from the Melbourne Storm. Incredible. Quick break here, and then we'll recap everything that we just witnessed on the Wasted World of Sports. Well, ads if you get them. Harley Griffin, thank you very much for the rose over there on TikTok. And I'd love to hear more about your story there as well. What was it that you said? You trained with the Storm back in 06 when you were 16. That is an awesome story that I would love to hear. Jim Condon says, comeback trend is dead. And I'll tell you what else is dead. Me getting close to hitting my multis. 64 points to 0. Ryan Pappenhausen is man of the match, surely, right? I think we can all agree on that. Ryan Pappenhausen, man of the match, 72 tries. Had a brilliant performance. Almost got his 73rd right there on full time. Big performance from the Melbourne Storm. They have restamped their premiership credentials. Not that they ever lost them in my mind. As I said, Melbourne Storm, my favourites to win the premiership this season, hands down. Nothing has happened that has changed my mind on that. Absolutely nothing. They'll get the job done. Manly vs Sharks coming up next. Wasted World of Sports. The stream on YouTube, after a few seconds, should automatically transfer you over there. But we're going to end it here for the other platforms. And we'll have a new stream in about 10 minutes' time for Manly versus the Sharks coming up. Thanks for joining us on this one. We'll see you right after the break. New stream coming up. Sharks, Manly. Catch you then. Cheers.
The Wasted World of Sports, eh?
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack. Ahoy! He's nearly taken security's head off.
I have no idea what the Wasted World of Sports is.